Deliverance of the Yamal Arjun trees. This chapter describes how Krishna broke the twin Arjun trees from which Nalakuber and Manigri, the sons of Kuber, then came out. So the twin Arjun trees, Nalkuvar and Manigri. Nalkuvar and Manigri were great devotees of Lord Shiva. But because of material opulence, they became so extravagant and senseless that one day they were enjoying with naked girls in a lake and shamelessly walking here and there. So suddenly Narad Muni passed by, but they were so maddened by their wealth and false prestige that even though they saw Narad Muni present, they remained naked and were not even ashamed. So Narad Muni is a Vaishnava saint. So in front of a Vaishnava, if you are doing some nonsense activity, it is unforgivable. You have to pay. As soon as you see Vaishnav, then you immediately you should get a thought that I have to do Dandavat. And if you fail to do such, if you fail to glorify the Vaishnav with such an etiquette and do Dandavat to him, and rather than turn your eyes away and give some nonsense, that is not good. So one who is very much relying on his mind and senses to defeat others will never win at all. The senses are it, not the things to greet anyone. If you see someone coming, some devotee coming, and you don't like that devotee, or you feel immediately you feel that this devotee is offensive, then why are you coming to the workplaces of worship? It is like that. So if your sin cannot go even in the place of worship, then it is you're not going to go in any situation, however purity is there. So these Nalkuvar and Manigrave were maddened by wealth. And why did they behave like this? Why would one behave like this? Deliberately, if you know that the consequence is bad, then you will not behave like that. Then, but still, why this kind of behavior was there? Because they were maddened by wealth and false prestige. So, wealth and opulences in material world maddens one and causes him forgetfulness of the duties. So it is the nature of material qualities that when one becomes very much opulent in terms of wealth and prestigious position, one lose. Now here, wealth and prestigious position means of the feeling of pride for possessing the wealth. One loses one's sense of etiquette and does not care about anyone, even if it be a sage like Narad Muni. So Narad Muni, he is a sage. He can, what a sage does, he bestows benediction, isn't it? He bestows benedictions. So, for such bewildered persons, Ahankar Vimudhatma, who especially deride devotees, so such people who are bewildered and they deride devotees. How they deride? By throwing something in the early morning. Some Mayavad they'll throw at others rather than helping and respecting and addressing and going and talking. They don't feel the need to go and talk to the person that I noticed. Why not uproot the problem right from the root? Why you want to conduct sessions somewhere and give the dirt elsewhere? That is not preaching. To remove your offense, you go and give a lecture in somebody's house, and then when the dirt comes, you want to give that lecture dirt to others. This is not fair. And so, for such bewildered people who deride devotee, this is called deriding the devotees. The proper punishment is to be again stricken with poverty. So, the Vedic rules and regulations they prescribe how to control the false sense of prestige by the practice of yam niyam, tapasa brahmacharyena shamena cha damena cha. A poor man can be convinced very easily that the prestige of an opulent person in this material world is temporary. A poor man can be convinced easily that the prestige of an opulent person in this material world is temporary, but a rich man cannot. Why is that? Because he has false prestige. A poor man can be convinced very easily, but a poor rich man cannot be convinced. A poor means not a wealthy in wealth. Poor means in terms of his nature, and a rich means one who is occupied with all the false prestige. So Narad Muni set an example by cursing the Nalkuvar and Manigriv to become dull and unconscious like trees. So a sage can give a curse. Now, a sage can give a curse because he has the power to remove the remove the bonding or bondage that causes from the curse, like that. So he can curse. So and Narad Muni is always talking about Krishna Leela. So he knew that Krishna will come in the future and help these fallen souls. So that was his purpose. But we cannot commit offenses and think that Narad, like sage, will come and help us. This is in the theory, or theory is theory, books are books. In reality, we are seeing how everybody is suffering hellish life. Their mentality to commit sin is not going. Their mentality to offend devotees is not going. Unless this mentality goes, the whole purpose of devotion and preaching is that you become a good person. You respect other person, other jiva soul. If you cannot respect other jiva soul, you cannot respect Krishna. That's it. And it's not that you can offend people, put them in Mayavad, defeat them with the rotten techniques, and go ahead thinking that Krishna will be happy and we will shine, and people will give us, uh, importance just because we have kids. So we are very important in the society. But what have you done for their future? Are you securing their future? Otherwise, Guru Nasasyad, Mata Nasasyad, Pita Nasasyad. That person who is not giving spiritual life to his children is not qualified to become a father, mother, and a guru. So, with that definition, you should find out the root cause of it and stop offenses. The whole process of bhakti is stopping offenses. And if you preach and commit offenses and throw dirt in others' house, then this is not preaching. You will have to, the person at whom you are aiming dirt will not forgive you and your offenses will not go. So you must curb this kind of illicit sex and sex life, sense gratification. Therefore, he, Narad Muni set an example by cursing Nalkuvar and Manigriv. How he cursed them to become a dull and unconscious like trees. To become dull and unconscious like trees. This was a fit punishment. But Krishna is always merciful. Even though they were punished, they were fortunate to see Krishna face to face. So, this is the kind of mercy. Now they became the two Arjun trees and they stayed in the courtyard, Angan of Yasnanda Yashoda. And they stayed there waiting for the opportunity. Now, waiting for the opportunity, what will a tree do? It just stands at one place, it is not able to move at all. Artificially, you cannot give such a state to any object. This is a Lord's kingdom, so everything has its own state of consciousness. So the tree is standing there without any clothes. If the tree will dress coat and trouser, everybody will laugh, isn't it? On its own, it cannot dress, so it is naked in the courtyard of Yananda Yashoda. So, how can a tree be naked? Naked means it is applied to people, isn't it? To human, this word. Then why this word is used for naked? Because these trees are null cover in the form of tree. That is why this word is used for them. So, tree cannot be addressed. It is an inanimate object. Then why it is called naked? People will laugh. As it is, they don't wear clothes. Trees don't wear clothes. Then why it is addressed naked? To stress that Nalkuvar, Manigri who were in human form, they became tree and they had to suffer that karma in the form of a tree. So Krishna is so merciful. In that form of tree, then people will admire it. It gives fruits. At least someone will take. But such offensive state punish of naked like a monkey and dancing, so that no one likes. But a tree is liked by people. Like at least they will ignore it. They'll not blaspheme. So like that. So the sage Narad was very merciful in giving such a punishment to Nalkuvar, and they were in the courtyard. And you know further what happened. They got opportunity to see Krishna face to face and understood how merciful Narad Muni was, and hence they expressed their indebtedness to him and thanked him. So whenever you read Krishna Leela, Mayavad is always there to attack. So at such times, whenever Mayavad attacks, the person who aims such Mayavad, he must rot in hell. That's all. We can only pray that he rot in hell. So after circumambulating the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, they departed for their respective abodes. Now, what abodes are they going in? So they finished their karma destiny of that tree birth. And when Krishna touched these trees, they left for their heavenly abodes because they were demigods. So they regained their state of demigod. So from this we can understand that in previous life, whatever one is, and he starts bhakti, then he goes back there. The Lord gives him the same position again. And the Lord gives him the same position only if you are having sadhu sang. Otherwise, that is also not guaranteed. So don't think you can commit offenses, do bhakti, commit offenses, and yet think that you will be liberated and be elevated and you will be the topmost person in the society because just because you are preaching Bhagavatam. It is not like that. Only if you meet a great Vaishnav, then it will be revived. Otherwise, nobody will take care of that. So they were demigods and they were noticed by Narad Muni. What if they were not noticed by Narad Muni? They would have fallen to hellish lives. So Narad Muni just happened to see them. And this is Krishna Leela. This is Krishna Leela. It happens only when Krishna comes to the earth planet, not otherwise. So these Leelas cannot be imitated at all. But this Leela illustrates that playing with your own things that are given by the Lord for coming back to Godhead. God has given human body. Don't play with it. Don't tamper it. Don't manipulate it. That's all. And don't put such photos on Facebook which will incite illicit sex in others. That's all.